It seems to me there are two broad categories that underscore the problem: mental illness and school safety. So hopefully we can find a way to come together and make some progress on this horrendous problem, consistent with our Constitution and with our values.
Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. Welcome to day 498. The Republican National Committee has reportedly recruited an army of trained operatives to contest votes in Democratic majority polling places. The RNC plan, as outlined by Matthew Seyfried, the RNC's election integrity director for Michigan, calls for connecting poll workers directly with party attorneys and district attorneys who could intervene to block vote counts at certain precincts. Steve Bannon previously called this the precinct strategy, which Trump recently endorsed. Nick Penniman, meanwhile, founder and CEO of the election watchdog group Issue One, said the strategy is designed to, quote, create massive failure of certification, end quote, in Democratic precincts, and to justify intervention by GOP-controlled state legislatures to, quote, throw the choosing of electors to state legislatures, end quote. Moving on, the Supreme Court blocked Texas's new social media censorship law, which would have allowed Texans and the state's attorney general to sue social media companies for taking down posts based on a user's viewpoint. The court's order isn't the final ruling on the Texas law, which is currently pending before a federal appeals court and is expected to return to the Supreme Court later. Under current U.S. law, online platforms are not responsible for what people post, and a company's policies about what constitutes allowable content has long been considered a type of speech that's protected by the First Amendment. Meanwhile, the Labor Department reported that U.S. job openings fell in April but remain close to record levels. Job openings declined all the way down to 11.4 million in April. That's a drop of 455,000 from March's record high of 11.9 million. Roughly 4.4 million Americans quit or changed their jobs in April, while employers hired 6.6 million people, and layoffs fell to an all-time low of 1.2 million. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said she was wrong about the path that inflation would take. In 2021, Yellen projected that inflation would be a small risk, adding that she did not anticipate that, quote, inflation is going to be a problem, end quote. Inflation is currently running at a near 4-decade high. And finally, the United States and Germany agreed to send Ukraine more advanced weapons to resist Russian invasion forces. Biden, however, stressed that we are, quote, not encouraging or enabling Ukraine to strike beyond its borders, end quote. Germany said it will supply Ukraine with anti-aircraft missiles and radar systems, while the U.S. said it will provide 4 medium-range rocket systems as well as ammunition. The Biden administration also plans to sell Ukraine 4 MQ-1C Gray Eagle drones for use on the battlefield. The UK also asked the U.S. to sign off on a plan to send advanced medium-range rocket systems to Ukraine. The Kremlin, meanwhile, accused the United States of pouring fuel on the fire, and Western officials have worried that providing Kyiv with rockets that could strike inside Russia could provoke Putin into escalating the conflict. And in the polls, Gallup says 71% of Americans say they support same-sex marriage. When first polled about the issue in 1996, just 27% of Americans supported it, and it wasn't until around 2011 that support reached the majority level. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.
Congressman, if you're a Trump supporter or Donald Trump himself, it just must feel like there's absolutely no accountability here, where you have members of the political elite knowingly spreading false information about a sitting president and then spending millions of taxpayer dollars on an investigation into these false claims, all to score political points. And there's just no accountability, no one being held accountable for this.